Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney. We are in the shoes of Mikotoba, which is very surprising, right? Sholmes is here, he's doing some stuff. We can only examine at this point. We do have chicken stroganoff here, and there's a large mousetrap as usual. It's supposed to be a mousetrap, I think. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this somehow. I'll leave it alone for now. We'll try a few things. No, I think not. That would never work, surely. I need to concoct another distraction. I did not think Mikotoba was this much of a cool guy. This would appear to be an alarm bell. All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Don't? No, I think not. That would never work, surely. Okay, so yeah, we'll see all our options first. What is this? Switch for the electrical lights. Perhaps if I were to turn off the lights, the crewman wouldn't be able to see what we were doing. No, he'll just say, please flip light back on. Okay. Tube? Pipe? That's a speaking tube for members of the crew to communicate with one another around the ship. I could just persuade our stocky sailor friend that he needed to use it. Sholmes could unlock the door while he was distracted. Question is how? That sounds like actually what we need to do. That's the way back to the deck. We certainly can't give up on this now. That's not what I was doing. I was just looking around, you know? That's another first-class cabin, and yet its door is completely unguarded. Empty as well. I had a quick look inside earlier. Though I confess, I did investigate the wardrobe. There may very well be a young Japanese fellow inside, perspiring merrily. You're referring to Naruhodo. You know very well that he's currently perspiring merrily in court. Does it not strike you, though, Mikotoba? Why the man stands guard only in front of this cabin when both are apparently vacant? Can we go in and crawl through the vents like a snake? Anyways, let's start using these. Let's play a game of Mousetrap, baby. Snap. Choo choo. That sounds like Big Mouse in Trap. It's funny because in Japan, mice chew. That's why he's Pikachu. Choo choo. I will bring bucket of water later and put out of misery. I don't like the sound of that. In any case, my dear fellow, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make a chew sound. Oh, really, Sholmes? And pray tell, what do Russian mice sound like? Da. Squeak. Squeakovich. A PP, naturally. Though also quite unconvincing, I readily admit. You said PP. So go ahead, Mikotoba. Do a PP this time. Okay. No, thank you. I'm sure I can come up with a better alternative solution. Come on, Mikotoba. Be a man. PP in front of it. I want to flick the light switch. Let's do it. Flick the switch. Oh, what is happening? Where is light? Now, Sholmes, now. Oh, wait, now, Sholmes, now. Oh, he's gonna run into stuff and... Nobody there. That was a close shave. Quite a knack you have, stumbling so violently in an apparently empty corridor. Do be quiet, Sholmes. Let's have to think of another approach. Okay. Or do we have to do all three and then they're gonna be like, well, we might as well check the other room. Alright, let's flip the alarm. Here goes then. Pardon me in advance. You! What are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be very bad problem. What's going on down there? Seaman Strog... Oh, I guess he'd also be Seaman Stroganoff. You know... Sometimes your chicken stroganoff is actually semen stroganoff, you know, and you just don't realize it. You gotta be careful whenever you have chicken stroganoff. Report at once. Ugh. Sorry, sir. Nothing to report. It was just stupid trick. No, not by me, by world famous. No, as I told you. Now, Sholmes, now. Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Don't stand there gawping at my brilliance, Mikotoba. In we go. Oh, yes. Wow, he'd be really stupid to not check on, when he goes back, but okay. All right, this looks remarkably similar to what we've seen already. Is that a big Hongshu Mimi cap down there? Yeah, this looks remarkably like the second chapter. Is that... Are they trying to fill this place with gas or something? Why is that closed off? Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. Yeah, the Hongshu Mimi cap. Those clothes on the floor there. They're Seishiro's without question. Oh my god. Please tell me there is art of him in his little nightcap. Well, it seems we are just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may be, 2 hours worth of clues to find in here. A burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes. Indeed he may. Which makes this all the more thrilling. Big thing? This. There's a speaking tube here, look. Oh, it's been stoppered with some cloth. The voice of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Oh, indeed, so the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Oh. Did something have happened in here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or could be to prevent snakes from entering. It's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? Okay. Did we check in here? According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Asogi's wardrobe. Indeed he was, and it was of a similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. What? Whatever for? It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This will only take a moment. Really, Sholmes, surely you could just tell me what you said. Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer. I think I'll just read about it in The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Water. That glass looks quite fresh. There is ice in it. Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here how it... Yeah. Is something wrong, Sholmes? You suddenly trailed off. Ice, Mikotoba, ice! Oh, don't want to see that on a steamship. What opulence the first-class passengers enjoy. Chilled drink. If there's ice, there has to be a freezer. Pardon? Could it be that this steamship is equipped with an electrically... Could it be that this steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? What happened to your... Never mind. It is a luxury liner, after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Have you tried this poutine stuff? Remarkable. Someday, judges will swear by it. Suddenly, Mikotoba, the sight of you is making my mouth water. I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. That's important to know. Garbage? There's always something in the garbage. There's the waste paper basket, look. And there's still rubbish inside. Indeed, let us pry. I've discovered recently that I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets. I sincerely hope only for your work. Ah. Huh? There is stuff in the garbage. Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago? The night before we arrived in London, then. When I was still aboard myself. Evacuation drill notice. Following departure for the... I couldn't read that in time! I couldn't read that. Thanks. I was... Listen, work smarter, not harder, right? Hopefully I still have time. Okay, let's see here. Nope. Okay, just wait. Why to pause? Okay. Let's see here. 3 days ago. No, I'm trying to fast forward. Okay, it's fine. Let's just let it go. Just let it go. Let's see here. Right before we arrived in London, then. I was still aboard myself. Okay. Upon departure from Port of Dunkirk, all members are required to assemble on the main deck at 10 p.m. in order to review evacuation procedures. The drill will take 20 minutes. This sounds like a time when they are all busy, meaning a crime can occur. Okay. Yes, there was an evacuation drill. I remember now. For safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eye of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. Oh, I guess I could have just waited. Also, how are you setting this to the court record? Are you stuffing it through the receiver or something? Those are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly prohibited. Additionally, there are severe punishments for stowing away in wardrobes and or travel cases. I feel the rules have increased since I last read them. Probably just my imagination. What about the fact they're not straight on the wall? Doesn't that strike you? You may be right. Probably just your imagination, though. A trifle. And you know what I always say, Mikotoba? There's nothing important about trifles. It's probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. Now, we're not going to talk about this. Well, slightly different color just here. You see? Indeed. What you've observed arises when a frame has been hanging for some time, is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. Now there's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. It may very well be the elusive thief who has been plaguing France's galleries of late. Is this a reference to how Sherlock Holmes versus Arsène Lupin was a unlicensed story? When Maurice LeBlanc was like, I'm just gonna use Holmes in my story, and then they sued, and he's like, and that's where, isn't that where we got Sherlock Sholmes from? Where they were like, okay, well, if I can't use Sherlock Holmes, he's now Sherlock Sholmes, which is a very Arsène Lupin thing to do. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Sholmes, don't you? At least I think it is. That outline on the wall. Ilzon might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. I wonder where it is. There's a password. Yep, keep going. Okay. Okay. Can we not actually put things together here? Okay. Plenty of reading material to keep passengers occupied on the long sea voyages. I found the mixture of classic literature and easy reading to be most satisfactory, I must say. Whoever stalked this bookcase was a hopeless heretic. There's no copy of the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, my dear fellows. I'm afraid it's just me, but no, you're quite right. More blasphemous than overlooking the Bible. Proof Jesus Christ is canon in the Ace Attorney world. Which is funny, because apparently, Grant Damon Gant, that's his name. It was like, it's one of those. He was meant to be, every time he's like, oh, let's go to the pool. That was actually him saying that they should go to church. So it's kind of a If Ace Attorney 1 came out now, they'd be fine, right? But that was the DS era, so I shall leave a copy behind. I just happen to have one with me. Oh, you're like the guys that leave the Bibles in every room. You're a true missionary of the... Oh yeah, we're going with this whole thing. You're a true missionary of the Church of Great Detectives, aren't you? What are they called? I know their name. I learned about them in school. I don't remember the name. Clothes. That's a substantial heap of clothes on the floor. An overcoat, shirts, a dressing gown, momohiki work trousers, a Tanzen robe, a haramaki waistband. Clearly the clothing of a Japanese man. Or a weeaboo. Starting to exist now. And clearly, Japanese men are unaccustomed to the culture of the wardrobe. It looks to me as if they've been thrown in a heap like that in something of a hurry. Indeed. You can help yourself to a Japanese man's shirt, perhaps? What? I'm sure you made mention of packing too few. I'd very likely drown in one of Seishiro's shirts. He is a big guy. No, I'll just buy the extras I need, I think. Alright. Is there going to be a person in there? It's a very sizable trunk indeed. I swear to God, is it going to be a word combination lock and the combination's going to be Shomes? Or whatever is upside down on on Seaman Stroganoff II's arm? Seishiro is partial to all things large. And a rather clumsy fellow if he failed to notice he'd left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but still a hindrance to a speedy escape. Huh. Pity. It's locked, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now the situation will be quite different, though. Sadly not. It has a 7-digit combination. SHOLMES. That's 7. 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. That or those are numbers on his arm. You are still here. Ah, Abel Seaman Stroganoff. Every time I have to say it. Hello again. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize. Because that might be numbers, actually. That might be numbers. Huh? You are waiting for me? Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I know a few of them. I'm not going to say them. I was in trouble with Captain because of trick you played before. Poor innocent chicken. It is all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off. Now. Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there's something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally, the debunking of your deceit and the bearing of the truth. Kakoi? Is that Russian? I don't know. I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jigoku has not yet left this vessel at all. Yeah, he's in the box. And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganoff, you know exactly where the man is, even as we speak, don't you? How can you... Oh, you are bad at your job. I never noticed. They're little fish. That's adorable. Good gracious, Sholmes. You mean you worked it out? All of it? It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, 10 years. You're like, what, 20-something? I guess you're solving it as like a young teen with... Yeah. So. Oh, this is interesting to see them do this together. Would you care to join me? Oh, sorry. Would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. What is this? Why you men start dancing? This is not allowed in my country. We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Oh, okay, no games? Alright, well, guess fine. Yo, look at these two. I'd love to use this as a thumbnail, but it's spoilers. Time is of the essence. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left... Are they going to get it right fully this time? Because it's them working together? Oh. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Da! That is what I said. Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there's something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes, of course. I see you've noted it too, Mikotoba, then please, do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? See, this is how it should have been the whole time, where you just solve it on the go and don't have to listen to it twice and correct him, personally. Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotoba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3. Why, of course it has, quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe and the answers become clear. So, impress me! I think I can manage that. Can we actually click on them? No, we can't. We can only present. Alright. Boom. Wow, you have a British accent too. I mean, I guess... What? What? Oh, they weren't joking about the dance thing. Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. How curious, the ice shouldn't have melted. How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. Ugh. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival, with his well-chilled glass in hand. Get your mind off the refreshments, Holmes. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? Why would Seishiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins on the SS Grouse are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated, are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? That's right. They are. I was in the cabin next door and Seishiro was. Yes. 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage, as I suspected. Well, you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this. This is news to you, is it, Mr. Seaman? Mr. Stroganoff? Sholmes, what exactly are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your... Did he put a hole in a wall? Did he have a gamer moment? Did he get mad and, like, shove his fist through the wall in a fit of gamer rage? Something out of place in here? That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something incongruous. I must say, I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. Now then, let's see if I can uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. Boop, boop. Take that! It's out of place. Are you going to do a little jig again? That he is! There's some rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put here in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. The frame was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match.
Duh, you are right. When did frame move?
Hardly the most observant crewman, are you, Mr. Stroganoff? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Oh dear, really seemed to touch a nerve. Not the seaman nerve. So, Mikotoba, why don't you lift the frame off that wall? There's gonna be a big gamer hole! Oh, no! Unless he could do a shining finger. Not even a shining finger, a star finger. Shining finger would be very different.
That looks like a bullet hole.
Wait. Oh, this is interesting. Wait. No, there's no way Seishiro is part... Huh.
What? Who has been shooting walls?
I see the projectile has been removed. Clearly the careful occupant of this room had already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganoff. I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect Eastern Stranger?
Ah, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. Wow, he's stupid. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time. Aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense, as clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. Ah, my dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study a subject from every angle, and I'm quite sure you'll see it. In fact, I'd put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides? Well, I can certainly do that.
He's been given cashola.
And I can't click on it for info, okay.
Take that!
That's fine.
It's almost too obvious for words.
Quite. It's got a little booty. Universal language of the world. Money.
And I'd wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Seishiro Jigoku, yes? So, I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice.
Okay, so let me just... Since we got a good look here... Okay. It could also be numbers upside down. Like... So that would be... This is interesting, because then if his name solves a puzzle, then that means the puzzle must change in Japanese. So like 01395, and then it would be H, could be 4. Be a weird upside down 4, kind of, right? Oh, it'd be upside down, so it would be. It'd be H. The 5 again, maybe? I don't know. Okay, let's see here.
But...
I believe you know, Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment. Oh, you are so... Oh my god. He stared right at it. Oh my god, dude. He's literally looking right at it. As always, Mikotoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally.
Yes, I think you're onto something there, Sholmes. You found the chink in this burly fellow's armor.
We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flick of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely perceptible.
You can hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man turned his entire damn head. It's not exactly what you describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious.
We shall let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. There's something amazing about just being like, by the way, Susato's dad tap dances. It's hilarious, and I love it.
You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? Oh! Truth is, Seishiro Jigoku wasn't able to escape from the ship in time, and is at this very moment doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk.
But he still has a breath to take. I fear he may be running dangerously low on air.
Huh?
Imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it'd be in everyone's best interests for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible.
But how can we? Are you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code.
Combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must be an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure.
Of course.
In short, before Jigoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. As I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganoff.
No, I know nothing about combination code, right?
Okay. If we were to... So again, that's that way. So if we flip it upside down. 5, 6, 3, 1, 0, 4, 5. Easy. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Me when she say not to nut inside. Sorry. That's what my whole audience said too. Now, Mikotoba. Even he thinks it's funny. Would you do the honors and open the trunk?
How on earth do you expect me?
It's a 7-digit number, remember? Quickly now! We have little time. Frick. Okay. Alright, so 5, 6. Wait. 5. Wait, 2. Okay. Right, because I'd be upside down? Yeah, that's 2 upside down. 3, 1, 0. 3, 1, 0. 4, 5. Okay. 0, 4, 5. Right? 5, 2, 3, 1, 0, 4, 5. 5, 2, 3, 1, 0, 4, 5.
Take that!
I think it's a little mean that they... Well, it's not a little mean. It's the opposite. It's a little too easy that they don't give you 1 through 9. But I understand why. It's not a really hard puzzle anyways. I feel like if that stumped anyone, that's really sad. I'm going to be real.
That's it. It's open. You had to meddle, didn't you?
So, like, are you a villain or something?
Well, Eugen, you found me now. Seishiro.
Why? Why, what are you...
I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know.
But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it.
No, quite. I just wish it were some other way.
Well, are you ever going to introduce me?
Oh, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes.
I've read your stories of your many exploits. I need to remember what voice I gave him. Kind of in the middle.
Excuse my manners, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion.
The devil is in the details, Mikotoba. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion. who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour. See, my reputation precedes me as well. I need to think. Here's when he's there. He was on there. I need to think about him as a judge. The voice I gave him, right? I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you gonna explain all this? Did he fight in self-defense? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you did know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey? Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you. And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it? I'm afraid so, yes. Of course, I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you. Somewhat surprising, I must say. Who's this? Ah. What is? Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. So says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket and here I am. I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. You'd already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence. Is that it? Eugen, I have nothing to say to you. Oh, so when he said his old friend, he truly meant his old friend. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, the ship will set off on its onward voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, Seishiro. Take it. The Department of Metropolitan Police. What is it? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. You came prepared then, Eugen. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Jones? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk, I found this rather fascinating trinket. That's the latch of the pocket watch. What is that? Seishiro. I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something. But what, I have no idea. The look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Oh. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir of a brief sojourn in France. Isn't sojourn actually a French word? I think it is. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. That was a really fun little epilogue. Well, not an epilogue, but a part of it. I loved it. I really liked that. I thought that was excellent. I hope there's more of that, honestly. Kazuma Asogi, I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie, but still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. During the past 30 minutes while this court has adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. You must accept the unfortunate conclusion Now the Reaper has already done the deed. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict.
Objection.
Hey, can we say, hey, Judge, can you put this tiny rabbit to your ear? Just listen to him. No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. There can only be one conclusion, that the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court has yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Okay. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Jigoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku? You found him? In an age before cell phones, this must seem insane. The investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? Wow, okay. Again, we went from can't say the G word to this. He was located in France during the recess, at the port of Dunkirk. Thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes's famous deductions. Herlock Sholmes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Jigoku on the night of his death, because, along with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on the 31st of October. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to adjudication at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. I feel like this is still in Kazuma's plan. Kazuma wants us to find a way to say that he's the Reaper. Even if the timelines don't fit. I feel like it's going to be that, no, he has been operating in the... No, but the Reaper's been going for years. No, that can't be it. Regardless, I think we're still following his plan. And that it's going to end with us accusing someone, and like, it's all part of what he wants us to do. No judgment shall be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side. No, my lord. No objections, my lord. We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth. Damn. Maybe I just rocked that section, but that was very short. Maybe I should have saved somewhere in the middle last trial. That's okay. That's fine. Hey, shorter video every now and then. I mean, it's a 45-minute video. Whenever I feel bad about, like, oh man, I'm doing a short video, it's like, I just need to think back to when people did at most 11-minute videos, and then they did 14 minutes, and was like, oh my god, we can do 14-minute videos, right? Yeah, no, it's fine. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time for some more Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney, as we actually head to more investigation. Oh, really? Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. We have all afternoon. Yeah. well, in game, right? We'll see you guys next time for some more. Ciao.
Yo.